Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your daily tarot and astrology reading for Friday, August 30th of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful week. And yeah, we're about to head into this Labor Day weekend, so I hope that you guys have a wonderful Labor Day weekend and get to spend it with your family and friends, or just do whatever it is that you want to do this weekend. So let's go ahead and hop into today's reading, see what the cards have to say, see what the planets are doing, so we can see how you can be better prepared to navigate these interesting times. I have the King of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse, yes, well, I think we want to have a clear picture on things, and we want to, have a sense of order to things. The King of Swords is someone who's normally, of course, very intellectual and, sound of mind. King of Swords in reverse, this kind of reminds me of the moment actually in Disenchanted, which I don't know if any of you guys have even watched this show, but it comes on Netflix. It's by the same creator of The Simpsons. But the king in that show, like, there was a moment where he kind of went crazy. This King of Swords in reverse kind of gives me that energy. But he had to kind of go through. He had to kind of go through that experience just so he could have like his evolution, if you will. So I feel like this King of Swords today, and I'm just channeling this intuitively. I feel like it's one of those moments where you may kind of look at today as like, am I going nuts? Am I going crazy? Because there's just a lot of things that are happening right now. There's a lot of wild energy, and it does sort of almost feel like we're getting punked. I feel like that's what this King of Swords energy is, and that's not like a traditional reading of this card, but that's just what I'm channeling. It feels like we're kind of being punked right now. Um, we also have the Queen of Swords upright. So we have both. We have the King and Queen coming up. The King is reversed. The Queen is upright. And what's interesting about that show, Disenchanted, is that it was just the king, and then you have, of course, like the main character, and the queen is like nowhere to be found. But then you find out that the queen was kind of evil. She was a little bit crazy and stuff like that. This honestly is kind of. I feel like the King of Swords is Biden. I feel like the Queen of Swords is Kamala. Even though Biden is a Scorpio, Kamala is a Libra. So it does kind of give me this sort of vibe where it's like it does feel like one as it's like I feel like the king is falling and the queen is rising up. Now that's just on the political aspect. So it doesn't necessarily have to apply like that to your personal life. I think what's coming up here is that like it can definitely feel like we are getting punked right now, asking ourselves, is this real? And then the Queen of Swords here, while she is a little bit more logic driven compared to some of the other queens, so there's still that intuitive element here. And I think that's really what we have to remind ourselves of. It's like, even though things may seem a little bit weird, auspicious, out of place, strange, we have to still come back to our intuition and connect back to that place to kind of navigate these weird times that we are in. Astrologically, we do have that moon that's going to finish up in Cancer today. It is going to make a nice little sextile over to Uranus, and it did square Chiron earlier in the day, but that was like really like early in the morning, right? So really today, it's mostly the moon making aspects. We're not getting a ton of exact aspects really to anything else. It's really just going to be energies building up. Remember, this Mercury has just finally come direct in Leo, so we have that. Venus has freshly ingressed into its home sign of Libra, so she's feeling a lot better, even though the South Node is there. But as you can see, we're not going to really get a whole lot of other things. We will see that moon come into Leo, which will definitely bring about like some creativity, some passion, some fire, a spark, if you will, which I think is very much so needed. But immediately when the moon comes in, it opposes Pluto right here at the razor thin edge of this Capricorn Aquarius, zone. So that is it makes it even more sensitive too. So I think this is sort of like that moment too, where it's sort of like it can feel like we're getting punked in a sense. It can feel like it's like okay, like it does kind of also give me Truman Show vibes. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like how many people are in on it. It can feel like you're there's just a camera crew like just you know walking around and just filming you. You don't even realizing there's cameras hidden in a lot of different areas and stuff like that. That's what it can kind of feel like right now. With Pluto here at the end of Aquarius, getting ready to go back into Capricorn. And Capricorn is all about control too, and Pluto is destroying a lot of these systems and stuff, but still has to go through the revelation of such and reveal the things that have been hidden. And the Moon in Leo is trying to feel into these things intuitively and trying to be like, just be yourself and express your creativity. But it's a lot of weird stuff at play here. It really is. Um, we'll see that Moon, coming to Leo. It'll sextile Venus. That's a nice aspect. I feel like this Moon, even though it is still in opposition to Pluto, I think this Moon and Leo. Once again, like I said, we're going to be reacting and responding to more Leo-like things. So anything that sparks our creativity, our passion, our desire to shine, our desire to be front and center, you know, um, we're going to be responding and reacting more to those things. The sextile to Venus kind of opens up an opportunity, especially when it comes to relationships. On how do we put our relationships front and center in our life? How do we bring light to those different areas? Where can we find the creativity in our relationships? Where can we find the passion in our relationships? So it's a very nice sextile. It provides that opportunity to really open that up. Other than that, we're not going to see the moon do a whole lot. It's really that's really pretty much it as far as what the moon's going to be doing. And astrologically, like I said, really, we're just at the point now where we're in the building phase. We're building up to Mars. It's going to be square Neptune. We're building up to Mercury, which is going to trine Chiron eventually again. And we're building up to the balsamic phase of the moon, where the moon on Saturday will be within 30 degrees of the sun, getting ready for the new moon in Virgo that we will see on Monday. So, and of course, that new moon is going to be coming after Uranus retrogrades and Pluto goes back into Capricorn. So if you haven't already watched my weekly astrology horoscope, I go much more in depth into that. So this day, Friday, is kind of one of those building energy days. That's why I said like this week is a little bit, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, it's escaping me right now. It's a bit elusive in its potency. It's unassuming. Like, you wouldn't think that this week would be a big week, but it actually is. But it's because there are these little moments in throughout the week, such as today, where sort of like, oh, okay, so it seems a little bit chill, but at the same time, there's this inkling that maybe we're getting punked, that maybe we're not being told the entire truth of things. And I think that's what the King of Swords in reverse is saying here. The Queen of Swords is saying to engage your intuition a little bit more and try to look under the surface and see what is not necessarily right in front of your face. The King of Swords is very much so like if it's right in front of its face, it makes sense, and it's just very direct. The Queen of Swords can be direct too, but there's still like this undercurrent that she can tap a little bit better into compared to the King of Swords. So I think that's the part that we really have to engage on daylight today. Final card. I have the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, that's an awesome card to wrap this up. I think really just in the context of this is like, if you trust your intuition, then you really don't have anything to worry about here. That's really what it comes down to. You may just end up, and if you like over worry or overthink things, then you may end up squandering away like an opportunity that could actually be really beneficial for you. And then that's the other part too. So today's a day where we don't want to overthink things, right? At the same time, we don't want to completely, I guess, let our guard down. So we have to find the balance there. I think now that Venus is in Libra, it can help us to open up and receive a more balanced perspective and not just be fully one way or fully the other way, right? So definitely a different kind of a reading, I will say. What's the animal card? Well, let's see. We have the dolphin. The dolphin. Tune into the rhythm of your breath and find stillness and patience. Yeah, so I think that's the kind of the moment. If we find ourselves getting into that King of Swords moment where we feel like we don't quite have everything figured out and we start to get a little bit anxious, we need to come back to the stillness and kind of come back to this place where we're like, all right, well, let me focus, let me slow down a little bit, let me not just be going 1,000 miles a minute, you know, and tune into the rhythm, tune into the beat. You know, dolphins, the way that they communicate through echolocation, how they're able to find each other if they get lost. They're highly intelligent creatures. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is going to be a day, like I said, if there's a moment where you feel like you're getting a little bit off track, remember to tap back into the breath, tap back into something that provides rhythm, that provides some type of, solid foundation, if you will, right? Some type of sense of comfort. The moon does start the day in Cancer. So it's like, yeah, finding that sense of comfort, through breath work, through stillness to kind of bring you back to center. That way you'll realize with the Ten of Pentacles here that you're probably fine. You're probably fine. There's always going to be challenges, right? There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be something to overcome and stuff. But you're probably fine, much more than you realize. So I think it's really, like I said, just the build up and the preparation for Sunday and Monday, which are going to be really big days. So that's going to do it for your daily tarot and astrology reading. I trust this message will assist you on your journey today. And if you found this at all helpful, I'd appreciate it. If you like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Friday. I will see you all for tomorrow's daily tarot and astrology reading. Peace.